That is us live. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and we have a lovely guest tonight, which is Michael from Rasputin's Castle. If you haven't subscribed to him, go over and do it now and come back before we start the video properly, or the podcast, I should say. And you're very welcome. There's plenty in already. Slipjoint Sawyer, one man in his dub. Randy, Father EDC, who I sent the knife out to yesterday. So I'll catch up with those later on. But the reason Justin isn't here is, bless his wee cotton socks, he's been really poorly this week. He's not even been at work, which is something for Justin to take time off work. He sounded terrible when I spoke to him last night. I just checked on him there this evening, and he's feeling a bit better, but still pretty rough. GR Knives, Pepper Dingo, Philip W. And you know I'm going to get confused. Uncommon EDC, Sean. My gosh, these are all coming. It's great to see you all. When's the giveaway?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They're turning up.
Slipjoint Sawyer, by the way, is just a troublemaker. Just a troublemaker. But yes, we're good. So Michael came on tonight to fill in from Justin, but he was going to come on anyway because me and him have a little thing that we want to announce. And I really feel like I'm cheating on Justin. Do you know what I mean? Although he does know about it and he doesn't mind at all. He's quite happy. And I've told him that he can come in and pop in anytime he wants to join in the conversation. He's just getting into what we're going to be talking a lot about. So, Michael, how are you doing? And you're very welcome to the show.
Thanks. And I really appreciate, I noticed on the invite to the live feed, it said special guest. So I really appreciate that you recognize, the grandeur and greatness of Rasputin's Castle.
Yeah, you know us Irish talk a lot of waffle, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So do you want to give her a little announcement tonight, or shall we have a wee go at what people's been carrying, what you were carrying today? Should we maybe do that first?
Yeah. So I couldn't find what I was carrying. I don't know what I did with it. But I've been carrying that Hogue Deca, really nice, sand colored.
Yeah.
And, those are really nice knives. I'm really enjoying carrying that thing.
I've never handled one.
It's a little small for me, but I think a lot of guys would just love it. It's competitor to the Benchmade. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the bug out again this year, but I got it in titanium, and it makes such a difference to that knife. It just is a splendid piece of kit, I have to say. I didn't like it with the plastic handles.
The bug out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I'll tell you, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's I have to say, it's very nice. I'm really pleased to get it. Do you just normally carry one knife, Michael?
I carry, a little pocket knife, and I carry a modern folder.
Yeah.
And I usually carry about 90% of the time, but the pocket folder I'm always carrying. So I carry it in my pajama pockets. I've just got it because it's handy.
Really sad. What knife would you use most during the day out of the two?
If I'm around the house, probably the that case I carry, the medium Stockman. But
yeah,
if I'm out and about, I'll probably use the bigger folder more because I'm doing bigger stuff with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm probably the opposite. I would very rarely use a bigger folder unless I need it. I would tend to use, only because we were just talking before the show, the sheeple over here are absolutely horrendous. So I tend not to want. There's no point of upsetting people for the sake of upsetting them because it just makes everything worse. So
Did you say the sheep?
Sorry?
Did you say the sheep?
The sheeple, yeah.
Sheeple, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're out there, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean, if I need to use a bigger knife, I'll use it.
Yeah.
But you always have to be wary, especially if it's not a UK legal knife that you happen to accidentally walk out with.
Sheeple. Hey, one man in his dub.
Right, folks, you see you lot in you're not sitting there in that chat box doing nothing all night. Let me know what you carried today. Stick them up there and we'll have a chat about what you carried.
Terry's Knives and Man Stuff, Uncommon EDC. I'm enjoying his channel. Who else is on there? NB EDC.
Terry's Knives and Man Stuff.
Yeah, he's on there.
Yeah.
FM in Lincoln. I'm not familiar with him.
MBEDC. Not sure of Gaz FM. No, I have to say. Great vid in the Ganzos. I've done a video today on Ganzos. I've always been an advocate of Ganzos from when I first came around.
Yeah.
And not being a knife person, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on what I was doing. So I started off with Ganzos, and then after I got over 1,000 subs, they sponsored me and they just kept sending me knife. I would get 3 or 4 every week, just kept coming and coming. And to be honest with you, I tested them really hard because I wanted to make sure they were as good as I thought they were, and they didn't let me down at all. And I've still got about 6 in my collection from when I first started. So I enjoyed doing that video.
Randy said something about ADT.
Randy, Paddy Potatoes USA.
And,
and 8OT.
8OT, okay.
8OT, yeah.
ADT.
And a Ganzo. Well done, F861. Nice carry.
And EDC's carrying that AK-47 from Cold Steel.
Good carry. I've never handled one, but they look nice. They're one of that sort of 6 or 7 Cold Steel knives that anybody could carry and use. They're just well-made knives.
I like seeing what everybody's carrying. It's interesting.
Yeah. Terry's Knives and Man Stuff for 110 and a buck canoe. Lovely. Midnight Manager, just working from home. Nice knife to carry about with you. Got one myself on my keyring. I love them.
Prop Blast carrying a Tornox and a Case Trapper. Did you just say that?
No. And who else is down there? Oh, Father EDC. Oh, Father EDC won the Christmas giveaway on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't send his knife till after the Christmas rush was over. So I sent it out to him yesterday. So he should get that hopefully shortly.
I'm glad that's all over with so I can concentrate on buying knives again, man. Presents and family visiting and cooking and decorating. I hardly could buy a knife in edgewise.
I'm going to try and take it easy for the first couple of months this year. In the pocket today, an Olight arc fill. I've never tried one of them. They look nice. The Devo Mash V2, an O Penlight, Jack Wolf After Hours, beautiful knife. I love mine now. A Vostage Shark Bomb Pry, and a Junkin Genius Hank. That's a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Great name.
Hey, we really appreciate you guys for throwing that up there. It's fun to look at.
Yeah.
It's fun for everybody to see what everybody's carrying.
And Slippy's carrying a great knife for a change.
Yeah.
A 94 Garnet, the GEC Jig Bone is a beautiful little knife. 14 size, but beautiful little knife. And Sean's carrying a Saudi and a Victorinox Camper. Great blend.
Terry says he's got 7 knives coming.
Oh, gosh.
I did a video on this. It was a negative video, but one of my subscribers said that he had one of these. It's an old timer.
Yeah, I seen that Heritage
series with laminated wood, and it was really disappointing. I mean, it's a pretty knife, but the spring on it is just terrible.
I have to say, I have the, what's the one I have of it? I have the Heritage, where'd I put it? I have the locking knife, the little back lock.
Is it good?
It's a stunning little knife with the Heritage back lock. I don't know where I put it.
Maybe I just got unlucky, you know.
You could well have, because I have to say, I really do love the little Heritage. I love the living thing now.
This subscriber told me he had a Trapper, Heritage Trapper, and it was great. So maybe it's just one knife, you know.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I thought I'd lost her there. That's the little back lock, which is a lovely little knife for that.
Yeah, see, that's what I was looking at getting.
The lockup is absolutely rock solid. Either way, up or down, not a movement. And it just goes straight up the hey diddle diddle.
Yeah, I want to get one of those.
It's lovely, I have to say. I would recommend it. But I've seen quite a few boys on here that have bought the other ones and enjoyed them. So I think you maybe did just get a little print. I would send it back, to be honest.
I'll send it back and see where it goes. And then I got this Schrade kind of, let's see.
I've seen that too. That's a lovely big knife.
It is beautiful blade geometry on there.
And they're giving them away.
Look, this thing is thick. Look at it in relation to, well, I can't get it in there. It's thick. I don't know how to show that. Let's do that.
It must be about 5 mil or something, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's 8CR13.
Yeah.
But the handles are micarta, and they offer this in 1095, right? It's a 37 SH.
Yeah.
SCHF 37M. And the N stands for micarta, but man, I think you could see what a beast that thing is.
It really is, yeah.
You know?
It is. That looks more like a 1/4 inch, doesn't it?
But not only do I like the knife, you know, I wanted to take it out and beat on it and see how that steel's going to hold up, the 8CR13. I think it'll do just fine.
Yes, of course it will. Be absolutely fine. There's Norman's carrying the Rosecraft kayak. I'm glad you got that, Norman. The kayak is a lovely knife. I really do like it. That's from Rosecraft.
Yeah.
Great knife. There's another person. Quite a few people are responding saying that it is just a fantastic knife at a great price.
It is.
Simple as that. And to get D2 with it, I mean, I would quite happily have bought that at 8CR13. It was such a lovely knife.
I can't wait to see when they offer a premium offering. You know, when they make a really premium knife, which I think all their knives are premium, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing that would scare me is at the minute they're making such a fantastic job at the level they are. They're right at the top of the game there. If you make a higher end one, you're really setting a bar that you're going to have to be able to keep to. And I don't know whether they're ready this young, and they've only just started about what, a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, I think they're doing it smart, sticking with you know.
Their attention to detail of the fit and finish has been amazing. Amazing. Yeah. But also Andy has a lot of experience. Obviously, he designed a lot of the Rough Riders and things like that. So he's had lots of experience with the Chinese companies.
Yeah.
The Vostade Nightshade. I love that knife. It looks gorgeous, but I'm just not sure what it's going to feel like in hand. It's one that I sort of put off. And the Victorinox 111 mil Trekker.
Mm-hmm. They're nice.
I actually, that was one of the knives that I'd sent across to the States that I lost. And I was talking to you earlier. The biggest mistake I made was, I mean, I don't lose knives going to America, but I didn't go first class signed for.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just never made it. It actually got to it didn't get the estate. It got to somewhere in America, then just disappeared. And that's the trouble with when you don't go the sign for, you can't follow it up, you can't track it. They just say, I don't know.
I've had stuff disappear, you know, but not a whole lot. Most of the time, like all the knives, I've never had a knife coming to me disappear from a company, and that's the thing you think you would lose, you know. But it's okay, you know. There's bad people everywhere, so
of course that.
Filter them off here and there.
The funniest one, it was years ago. I had a big bag of old knives, and I was sending them over to, was it JB? No, it wasn't. It was the big fella that does the competition chopping now. Was a big cold steel fella. He was doing Christmas giveaways and sending parcels out to people. And I sent him a bag of knives, and the postman turned up to his front door with the bag that had been ripped at the bottom and handed him the bag empty.
Wow.
But I suppose he had to prove that he delivered what was there at the door. But it's been ripped open and everything taken out of it. That was the
How about you guys? How about viewer land there, any of you guys come up missing knives, that you ordered or you were trading with somebody else and lost them in the mail?
Q Eon has got the 39-pound set compacts on Amazon. Oh gosh, that's good. Yeah, that's a good price. My knife carries the old timer 12123 OT. Never heard of that one. And a TS 394 and a custom hog's tooth. Oh, that sounds nice. He makes some. He's very much into the
Nova one.
Yeah. Gaz FM's carrying a Soldier 08. It's all good around for £40. Great price. Jimmy Slash, yes, Spitting Slices, thank you. Jimmy Slash was the one I sent the parcel to, and they just handed him the empty bag, and all the knives were gone.
That's crazy. So let's talk about what's going on with us.
Yes, go ahead. I'll let you take the floor.
Okay. So we wanted to do something together, and we're going to do a live show January 23rd, and we'll put out more information on it. It's going to be 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the U.S., and that would be 9 o'clock UK time, 9 p.m.
That's really good set of times there.
And what we're going to concentrate on is just vintage knives. And the other thing is we want to do some of what we're doing here, which is trying to connect to you guys and trying to answer your questions as you're putting them up. And that's going to be the focus of the show, is just kind of relating with you guys more, being more in contact with you, answering your questions that you may have. And I know there's always a lot of questions about vintage knives.
So there's another thing, Michael. I think it literally just came into my head now. It'd be nice if some of the folks in the talk box, if they would send in photographs even of an old knife they've got, give us a picture of the tang stamp, give us a picture of the knife, and if we can help them, we'll help them. But if not, we can put that picture up and let other people have a look and see if they know anything about the knife, so that we can get that connection between all of us.
Okay, send that to my Gmail, guys. In the description box on my channel is my Gmail. It's really simple. It's rasputinscastle@gmail.com. And if you send those pictures and a question about them, we'll collate that stuff and we'll answer them as much as we can. I mean, if we get 1 million of them, we're probably not going to cover all that ground.
No.
But,
I think if we could even cover one a night, one a show, it would be nice to try and help somebody.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions like that. Somebody will ask about a knife, but they're not showing me a picture. And it's really, really hard to just go by a description.
Yeah. And we have enough boys in the chats in this, and hopefully a lot of boys from here are going to go over and watch it. Yeah. And they're good at asking questions, but they're also good at helping. If you haven't got, they can help it, especially cases. And we'll have a lot of case fanatics here that can just tell you at a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So, that sort of thing's really handy.
Yeah, and that's real time. So that's my thought is, it's all going to be more real time, like we're doing here. We're talking to people and answering questions and talking about what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll start off with vintage knives, but if there's a lot of questions about something else going on, we'll move that way. We'll go the way they want us to go, and just make it about the viewer as much as we can.
Yeah, can I say one very important thing?
Yeah.
Once again, I have myself and Justin on our podcast. That's going to be completely separate. This is just myself and Michael. Now, Justin might pop in every now and then. He's just getting into the vintage sort of knives, so we'll give him an open tag for that. But it's just funny that how I become the good-looking one on 2 channels now.
Yeah.
And we've got Justin's intelligent, and then you are a font of information.
Yeah.
Which is great.
The thing about that is most of the people popping on are men, though.
That doesn't matter. I was a sailor.
I wasn't going to go there. My wife was a sailor, but she never was aboard ship. And so I'm always poking fun at sailors. She gets real mad when I do that.
My wife was Army, and she was in the intelligence service. It's like I keep saying, you know, she lost it very quickly.
Yeah.
No, who else is getting it? Thanks very much for putting your knives up, boys. That was lovely to see what you've got. Is there any people in here that are just getting into the collecting of old traditional knives? Please let us know, because, you know, there's the sort of people we want to come over to the channel. You know, it's great to have people that know lots, but it's even better to get people who are not too sure, that are going to have somewhere that can come and try and find out about it, because sometimes it's difficult to find somebody to talk to.
Gas says his missus loves knives. I wouldn't say my wife loves knives. She likes them. She likes to have me show them to her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like to hear how much I'm spending on them. That's the thing.
I have a joint bank account with my wife. I can't hide a penny. Saying that, look, we're one of those families, like, we're not loaded, but if we've got money in the bank and somebody wants something, they just go and get it.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. If I haven't got the money, you don't get it.
I don't even check my bank account. I just I haven't done that in maybe 10 years. I'll call every now and then, you know, to make sure like I keep that running balance in my head.
Yeah.
So I know what should be there. And if I was short a couple $1,000s, I know, you know, it's being hacked or something, but that's all I worry about.
My wife has one of those online things. She can check the bank account on her phone anytime she wants.
Ryan Hanley's saying hi to you.
Hello, Ryan. Nice to see you, fella.
Nigel Loftus is on there. Con in.
Here's something. Did anybody get a really extra special surprise at Christmas that they weren't expecting? Because I know we all sort of have knives. I got mine before Christmas.
Well,
look,
I don't talk about personal stuff like that, Paddy. So. Getting stuff I wasn't expecting.
I nearly missed that.
You had a blank face for a minute, but you got it.
Yeah, I'm a bit slow sometimes. The case, I just got the Case Hunter folder to the door.
Mm-hmm. Who was that?
A horse. I love it. Yeah, I have to say I got one this year as well. I got a lovely big one.
Oh yeah.
This one's in the jigged wood, which I think is really quite rare. I haven't seen many other ones. Maybe there is. Maybe I haven't seen them over here. But it's beautiful jigged wood on it. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, it's a big beast of a knife.
It's a prop wood. I've got one. I think mine's from, I want to say 89. It might be from the 90s. I can't remember. Really nice though. How do you take your whole collection out and put it on the table? Because it's like you got a knife for everything there.
I have all my collection in drawers in front of me here.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I really cut down my collection from when I used to have over 400, let's say, but I've cut that down in half in this last lot of years. And I'm not gonna
go ahead.
Yeah, I had too many, because one, I can't use 200, never mind 400, and you know, it's so much nicer just to have. I sort of know when one knife goes missing, I know it straight away, because I just go looking for it, and it's all here in front of me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 6 is 9, and then I have a tool chest here. So a tool chest and about 9 different drawers with knives in them here.
My wife says I can tell her everything about 500 knives.
Yep.
But I can't tell her what she said yesterday, and it really makes her mad.
My wife can never understand it if I lose one knife, how I know I've lost it.
Yeah. Scene just said he's got a lot of Sheffield knives. So, yeah, that live show scene would be a good time to pop in and send some photographs. And we've got a lot of information. I've got probably 40 English knives of different companies, and so we'll try to help you out there and let you know what's going on.
Yeah, I love collecting. I have sort of weird collections of, and especially the British ones. Something like this where I've all the little metal ones,
Yeah.
and some show ones. But I've little collections of that where you maybe have sort of 10, 15. And
did you check out that website I gave you?
I haven't had a chance today. No, I haven't had a chance today at all.
You're gonna love it, I'm telling you.
I really am looking forward to it. I've got the bit of paper sitting by my chair out there.
The information they have on that website is unbelievable.
That's great. I'll maybe talk about that next week, actually, or the next on our first show. Just what it's like.
They'll tell you what street the guy lived on. They'll tell you what cemetery he's buried in. It's amazing, amazing.
Wait, and if anybody sort of is wondering what we're talking about, Michael had found a site that you can just type in the name of a company or the name of a person, and it'll give you all the details of them. And it's really well researched. Like he said, they'll go into their second cousin once removed and give you all the information you want.
That's funny, splitting slices. That's funny.
That's
what he said about my wife. She's a really good woman. I've been married 34 years, and yeah, she just she'll roll with anything. Good woman.
And she has the funniest laugh. I love her laugh. It just makes me smile.
Me and Terry's Knives and Men stuff, we're going to get together here in the future, and we wanted to go around and do some filming of antique stores, flea markets, that kind of thing.
Love them videos.
And Sherry kind of volunteered herself for that mission. Which, I mean, they're like, you don't mind if I go, do you? And I'm like, yeah, what are you going to say? Yeah, right. No, honey, you can come along.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I have to say, my wife is happy that I've got my hobby, but she really doesn't partake in it. Now, she carries a couple of small knives now, which she had never done her whole life. And it was in her 60s she started carrying knives, which is really quite... I find it nice that she's got them now, and she uses them for knitting and things like that.
I can't remember what knife it was, but Randy shows that knife that his mom carries, big old folder. I was like, dang, his mom is bad.
And there's Norman there. He got his first Jack Wolf this Christmas.
Hey, congratulations.
Might have got it from somebody sitting not too far away. But it was lovely to see his face, and I hope he enjoys it. It's a beautiful knife. Sweet Pea helps me find knives. Terry, she sure does. She sure does. I love them, but because we don't have places like that over here to go. You can go to pawnbrokers or second-hand shops, and you might find little small 2.5-inch, 3-inch knives that they'll sell in there. But that's it. I mean, they're usually rubbish. I suppose I've only ever really picked up maybe 2 or 3 from one of them shops that have been all right. But we don't have anywhere like that. I would love somewhere like that.
I have found not a lot. Like usually antique stores charge too much.
Yeah.
Or they want too much for them. But the reason I go in them is every now and then you find that knife that they don't realize. And I picked up a rare knife. It's a powder horn knife, a toothpick.
Toothpick, yeah.
And it's a very rare knife in excellent condition. I paid $25 for it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how much that thing's worth, but I know it's very rare. And
well, Ghost Malone, how are you?
I found a few more,
Yeah, there's boys like Terry have been doing them. There's another boy I've just started following about a month now, and he's constantly every week he goes out and goes around the different ones in his area, and he is just like he'll pick up 3, 4, 5 knives at any one place, and he usually comes back with a great hoard of knives, and then he does them up and Great shot. I must get the name of his channel because it really is worth watching.
Ghost Malone EDC you got on there.
My man. He was the fellow I lost the knife to that I sent, but I didn't send it first class sign for. So I sent him another one yesterday as well. So I hope he likes it because he doesn't know what's coming this time.
Yeah.
He knew what was coming the last time, but I didn't say anything in case it doesn't blooming arrive again.
I'm still waiting for one from A.G. Russell. I got one of their War Eagle Stockmans.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know what? I think I got a copperhead. I can't even remember what I got.
One of my nicest 8CR13s is this, the ranch knife.
Mm-hmm.
A.G. Russell. What a beautiful little knife. Small handle, but it's fat. So you get a grip, half decent grip on it. Love that knife.
The only wrench knife I have is, well, like
what
that.
What do you call a wrench knife?
Well, there's different meanings to that term,
It's not one I've heard.
That knife, I think, would qualify as a ranch knife. Just a knife they use on a ranch a lot.
Uh-huh.
And those cases are very popular. I've got one of those, but it's just a black synthetic handle.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the yellow bone, but I have to say it's a wonderful knife. I sort of put it in the category of like a GEC 71, the sawbuster sort of thing. It's just a fatter sawbuster, but it's a very useful knife now, I have to say.
Phenomenal design, really.
And like, there's A.G. Russell. He has made his whole career. I did make his whole career. Sorry, he's passed now, but on 8CR13 is what his knives have been made on for years upon years, and you never hear anybody complaining about how they perform because they're just fantastic for pocket knives.
Yeah, I think it boils down to heat treatment and tempering. If you don't do that right, then you're going to have problems. And I've seen guys talk about their Spydercos in 8CR13. They didn't like how they performed, and cold steel, and it just all depends,
Well, let me tell you, I've had cold steel and I've had Spyderco. I've still got some. There's a wee Spyderco. It's an 8CR, the wee Kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
Had it for years. Very odd looking wee knife.
Yeah,
but
cool.
This knife is like a scalpel. It is fantastic. 8CR13. Beautiful little knife. But I'm surprised that people don't like Spyderco because their heat treatment is probably some of the best out there.
Hey, thanks, Nigel. Thanks for dropping in, brother. He's clocking out here.
No problem. Don't forget to put your card in. I'll be taking note that you left early. And how are you, Sean? It's nice to see you here, mate. I thought you weren't coming tonight.
My EDC loves his Spyderco Grasshopper. Isn't that what you have?
No, well, it's very similar, but it's a Kiwi.
Oh, okay.
It's a really odd looking shaped knife, but so comfortable. Typical Spyderco, looks horrendous, but in the hand it is so comfortable. So you got your first two fingers up here, and then there's plenty of room for two more. Small knife, but you get a good grip on it. But it's a real wee pokey stabby knife.
They're fantastic knives. A lot of guys just love them, but that Lee style blade, it just doesn't appeal to me. And
I have to say, I've gone through phases of having them, not having them. Really, all I've got now is that I've got a wee the wee Dragonfly, and I've got one of my favorite knives is the Spidey Chef. Completely overpriced knife, but I love it. In the kitchen, I would use this in the kitchen. It's just gorgeous.
I'd be afraid to use a folder like that doing too much because get crap all in it.
Well, the thing about this is everything is either titanium or what do you call that steel? LC200. So it doesn't rust. Yeah, it doesn't rust. Wash it under the tap, stick it in with a dish liquid. It doesn't really matter. It just cleans up really easily.
That's an expensive steel, that LC200.
Yeah, it's not worth the price, to be honest with you. It's not that great, but I just like the knife. The knife itself, I just love the configuration of it. It's beautiful. So comfortable in hand.
I did on that steel video, I took all the steels across all the spectrums, and then just saw where they lined up. And the top 7 steels, 4 of them were the old time steels, 420 HC.
Yeah, for toughness.
8CR13. I can't remember them all now, but they were old time steels. AEBL was up there in the top 7.
Yeah, nice steel. That's steel that still a lot of custom makers use.
Yeah,
because it's easy to repair. It gives you a lovely shine when you sharpen the edge.
Well, that's a powder metallurgy version of HCR13.
Yeah.
So
it's a really nice steel now. Mikey Newman, how are you, my friend? You've been on a Spyderco buying binge this week. Mikey, every week you're on a binge. It doesn't matter what brand it is. I've never seen anybody's collection grow so much as Mikey's. We met Mikey over at the only blade show there is over here in the UK. And oh, what a star. Very funny man. Lovely man to spend time with. We'll
see you later, Terry. Thanks for dropping in, brother.
Yes, cheers, Terry. Really appreciate it. So what other things do you reckon we're going to get to in our new channel?
A whole lot of trouble. That's what I suspect.
I hope so. I really hope so. I don't do good at playing. Yeah. But I'm genuinely looking forward to learning as well. And that's the nice thing about this hobby. No matter how long you've been around, you'll always find something you don't know, or somebody can give you information that you never thought you would ever come across. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, it just never gets dull. There's so much to learn.
Oh, do you know what I got off Randy before Christmas? He'd sent a lovely wee knife over for me, but he'd sent a wee coin, and it was I can't remember what year it was. I think it was the 60s. It has the Indian head on it.
Yeah,
it was is it 5 cents? I think it was. Yeah, it's bigger than the 5 cents. Is bigger than the dime, isn't it?
It's a buffalo nickel, is what we call that.
Buffalo nickel. He sent me one of those over, and I have to say, I'm not really one for a lucky sort of coin in my wallet, but his has gone straight into the front of my wallet, and with Randy's luck, I mean, I am safe for life. It's in there and it ain't moving. I love the little coin.
Randy said it was from the 30s, but
30s, right? Yeah,
it's okay.
I have the memory of an empty elephant.
I thought it was just the ability to count, but
that as well. I don't have a lot going for me. It's as well I'm good looking.
Yeah, you're lucky, right? You're lucky.
Good looks everywhere.
Those things are cool. You get something like that nickel. They're cool to put into a knife handle. You got a wooden knife handle. You etch it out. You sink it down in there. Makes a really nice emblem for your knife.
Yeah, no, it's too nice. I just as soon as I seen it, I knew I had to have it because it sort of reminds me of old Americana.
Yeah,
going back to that sort of Western. I grew up on Westerns. That was my Saturday morning at the cinema watching the Westerns. Loved them.
I'm also going to be. I'm going to be starting. I want to do a book on American cutlery. From beginning all the way up until now.
Yeah.
And I've been researching a store. I think we talked about that a little bit. And I'd like to add a store, stuff guys want, like just the type of oils I use, the conditioners, the sandpapers, the stones, and
you and me are quite different, so we're going to have a lot of things that crossover that we don't have the others. So they're going to get a bigger selection, I think, of stuff.
Yeah, on the channel.
Yeah, sure. It'd be lovely. Yeah, because I think it's one of them things that's not talked about enough is stropping. It is just such a. If you've never stropped, it is such a fantastic thing to do with knives. It saves wearing them out.
Yeah.
You should never wear a knife out, a modern knife out now, ever, because I mean, if you look after it with stropping, you're fine.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I'm wondering how those steels. I mean, my cold steel is almost 10 years old now.
Yeah.
And you can, if you look at the edge of it, and now I've sharpened that, right? So I've sharpened it on a stone. Mostly use a ceramic rod, but when you look at the edge of that, you still see the original serrations of sharpening, and that's 8 years. And I had used the crap out of that thing. 70% of the time, that's the knife I'm carrying, and then I rotate the other 30%.
It's one of them things. You can go and put a mirror edge on a new knife when you get it if you want, but just changing and giving it a secondary bevel, a tiny little secondary bevel, sharpens your knife just as sharp. And you're not touching the blade hardly. You're literally just taking that. To me, we need more talking about it. That's why I'm doing a wee series now on sharpening, and I am a very basic sharpener, but I can get a knife sharp. And one of the questions that I was thinking about this week for next week for the one that I'm going to do is, I'm taking over. I'm doing basic steels. So this is just an old carbon steel.
Right.
This knife is probably, I don't know, 50s, maybe 40, 40, not sure. But so I'll put that up there so you can see. Oh, how sharp do you need a knife to be? It's a question I think that people never really ask themselves. How sharp do you need your knife? I need mine to cut paper like that. I feel comfortable. Bit of receipt paper, and if it can do that, I'm absolutely fine. I stop stropping, sharpening when it's like that.
Yeah.
But some people are going now for these edges that they're actually sending their knives away to get people to do professionally. And I think it's a big mistake, because yes, they'll do it beautifully and their knives will look immaculate. But if you're going to use that knife, it's only as good as the first cut through cardboard. That really ultra fine edge, the grippy, will go after one cut through cardboard.
Yeah.
It'll never be that again. So I just think the expectations, and there probably is a difference between somebody who buys knives to put on the shelf or somebody who buys knives to use. There's a huge difference in what you actually need to do with a knife.
I agree with you, Co. The convex edge is probably it'll last longer. It's the longest lasting edge.
Yeah, funny, we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? I just got the Bark River, and it's got the convex edge in it, and I've only ever convexed one other knife. I can't even think which one it is. I can't remember which one, because I've done it a couple of years ago and I've never done it again. But I need to do that a wee bit more now to find out just how good it is in normal knives, because I don't think I ever carried the knife, because I can't even think what it is. So I'll maybe try doing one of my half decent knives, putting a convex edge on it, and then giving it a test.
Yeah. It's because they're thicker behind the edge is why they last longer. Yeah, that's why they put a 45-degree bevel on hunting knives, because it's thicker steel. It's used rougher, and it'll hold the edge longer. And the thinner edges you see on knives that are for slicing in your kitchen and stuff like that.
Here's a little question I'm going to ask you, because you'll probably know the answer to this. When people do that, put that edge on it, and they're using bushcraft knives, I noticed that bushcrafters and us, not that I want to separate the two, because some of us are crossovers, the bushcrafters tend to use a strop, but they give it some welly. They really give it, whereas where I was always taught nice and smooth, no pressure when you're doing our knives, where the bushcrafters tend to, and I suppose that's because of the convex, and rather than sharpening, they use the strop to sharpen more often than not.
Yeah, well, I just think a lot of people don't know how to sharpen their knives, but stropping, the whole idea behind a strop is you're finishing the edge off. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it at all. That's the way I learned how to strop also. And it's finishing an edge, not sharpening it. It works great. Like at the end of the day, if you strop your knife, you're not taking steel off and you're rehoning that edge, and it just comes popping back out at you.
If I use my knife during the day, because some days, believe it or not, I don't use it much. But if I use a knife during the day, I'll strop it that night. I can't let it go. It's like an addiction. I have to do it before I go to bed.
Well, Co says sacks perform the best with convex edges. I didn't even know they made a sack with a convex edge.
I suppose that's something you would put on yourself, because I've never seen one.
Yeah.
And I suppose because they're so thin, they would be. But it must be quite difficult to put a convex edge on a wee sack. It's very hard to see it, especially with my eyes.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Go fast and strop to put heat in the burr. Go fast with strop to put heat in the burr. Right. Right. I know. I've never heard of that. I have to say I've never heard of that. Never tried it either. So
I haven't either. I'll heat my strop up. So like take a hair dryer and heat it up a little bit, and then
to loosen the compound.
The compound goes on easier.
Yeah, it goes softer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same, because I buy the hard rock. Although saying that, I got a what do you call them? The blue. Oh. Gosh, Stephen, my head is absolute rubbish. Oh, Smurf poo. I used to use Smurf poo in the beginning. I don't know if you've ever tried it. The blue compound.
No, I use green, red, and white.
It's actually called Smurf poo. That's what the name of it is for the company, and it is a lovely, fine compound for finishing off nice edges. Really is lovely. So I've gone back to trying to use it again, but green mostly is what I use.
Yeah, I mean they've got diamond impregnated stuff now.
Well, that's what I use in my
Never tried that.
I use this. This is an American one I use. I've had this for ages now. And that's
on your strop.
Yeah, I have a separate strop for this. I don't mix the strops; they're all different strops. If I put something on, I put that on the strop for my my higher, like my L Max S35 VN. Even if I want to, hello green still green still does it okay.
Yeah, it seems to me if you're going to put diamond particles on your strop, you're defeating the purpose of the strop, which is, you're not taking off a lot of metal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the diamond actually does remove, especially on your powdered steels. The diamond spray actually removes. It takes stuff off, so it does help with that finishing edge. It just gives it that last little bit. I have to say it.
So you really need the diamond solution for the super steels.
Yeah,
dropping super steels.
I find that I do.
I've never tried it.
Yeah, I find that I do, and when I use it, it's look all through it's only the last few years. Well, I suppose since I've had that about 3 years that I've actually used a diamond on my higher end ones, but I don't use it on just an average everyday blade steel. There's no need for it at all.
Co saying Gunny makes very high end diamond strop sprays.
So I heard.
I've not heard of that before, but then I don't pay attention to that stuff because I don't use it. But that's what this is all about, learning.
Yeah, I have to say I'm one of those. I like to try lots of different stuff, but I have a basic ones that doesn't change. But I like to try new things.
Yeah, I like variety too, but it really makes my wife mad. So.
Paddy, you should patent leprechaun poo. There you go. That would be a good one. There's a trade name that I'm going to keep.
Yeah, I'm going to try that stuff. Was it again?
Gunnies?
No, that Gunnies, yeah.
Yeah, Gunnies, yeah.
I'll look some of that up.
Who makes that?
I don't know.
Who's that? Eon? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Sorry, but the Scots, the Gunny stuff. Who makes it? Is that a YouTuber?
Yeah, Co. Who makes that gunny stuff?
Mikey's just come up and said, "There's another one for Judd Crud."
Yeah.
I'm sure he's sitting watching this. He'll probably pop in right at the end just to know he's caught you all.
Yeah, they're all busy talking to one another.
This is what I love about our chat. They do tend to pop and they just chitter, and I love that. It's just when you can go somewhere and feel free just to join in all over it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's my kind of gunny juice is made by Griptomatic. Oh, they have given me quite a few things, Griptomatic. Oh, no, that's interesting.
What is it again?
Griptomatic. It's a Russian company.
Griptomatic.
They do sharpening stones. The diamond infused dart. Some of the best stones I've ever used. I actually gave them away to a professional sharpener, Dan at Bladebridge, and he loves them. They're an immaculate stone, but they're about £100 a stone, so they're quite dear.
What kind of stone is it? Do you know?
It's the newest version of the diamond impregnation they do in it. I can't remember what the exact thing is. I haven't even got any now because I gave them to Dan. Because, I mean, they're lovely and I would have used them, but he's doing it professionally. And to get some nice stones for nothing just makes it a wee bit easier in the business. And he's a friend, of course. But yeah, they're nice, nice stones. Love your sharpening videos, Stephen. Thank you, Sean. You'll be seeing plenty more. I'm also doing a bit more of viewer requests on my channel because there's an awful lot of times people ask you questions in the comment, could you do this or could you not do that? And a lot of the times I never get around to doing them because sometimes you'll get a 20 or 30 in a week and the next time you'll not get one for a month. But I really want to start writing them down and then try to go through slowly even. As many people ask me a question. The one today on the Ganzos was a viewer's question from last week. So I managed to answer it quickly and it's still relevant then. But
people they have a lot to contribute. I mean, they have really good questions.
Yeah.
And a lot of my videos that I end up doing is off something somebody said.
Yeah.
Or mentioned. You know, I'll say, hey, that'll make a good video.
Yeah. I can be a bit lax sometimes, and it's something I want to change this year. And that's why I've started off the year quite fast, doing things that I've said I'm going to do, because once you get into that rhythm, you tend to follow it. Monocrystalite. Well done, Don. Couldn't have thought of that name myself.
Gas said that he watched one of your videos recently and realized he's an amateur. I think we all are, brother.
Yeah, I am really amateurish. I mean, the way I sharpen is amateurish, but like I was saying earlier on, is how sharp do you need your knife? I can get my knife sharp enough to cut receipt paper cleanly, and that's it. I'm quite happy. I have no need for anything else.
Yeah. Every now and then, just to play, I'll use my continuous geometry sharpener, you know, but
yeah, I would do that. If I'm going to reprofile a higher steel, I would do it on the fixed system once. And it's just to get that edge that I want to keep. And then I'm just following it freehand after that. But like, there's this beautiful knife here.
Yeah.
Look at the edge on that. I have never mirror polished that. All I do is drop it. I've done the first edge, and I actually think they've done the first edge freehand, but maybe I didn't. But I've done the first edge, and I just drop it, and that's it.
Yes, dropping will do it. You know, that's a fine micro particle, and that's how you mirror polish. You know,
it's. But the other thing, like you were mentioning earlier on, again, a lot of people are not using it as much. This is probably the best £100 I ever invested in. Was the big Spyderco ceramic. That is fantastic. I mean, if your knife just is a little bit blunt, put it on this ceramic and it just brings it back in seconds. Absolutely. Doesn't matter what the steel is, it will give you that edge. Fantastic.
Yeah, if you got a good edge at ceramic rod, I really, most of the time I'm using a ceramic rod and then I'll finish off with a strop.
Yeah.
And I hardly ever have to use a stone anymore. I used to use them all the time, but you know, once you start stropping and keeping your edge sharp. That's the key. That's the
Yeah,
key with super steels.
yeah,
I had a comment, I think it was yesterday, and the guy said he gave up on super steels because it was so hard to sharpen. But you got to keep up on them, and then they're not. Then it's easy to do.
yeah. And the ceramic rod is fantastic for higher blade steels,
Yeah.
higher hardness. The ceramic, that ceramic stone. Look, I've tried finishing on the ceramic stone and not going to the strop, and I can't tell the difference most times, because as long as you've deburred it, I mean, even with a ceramic, you can deburr it by just tilting up that tiny wee bit just to get that edge, and it'll take any wee
Mhm.
burrs. But I very rarely even need to strop. I just do it out of habit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go and use your knife uh, throughout the day and then come back and just drop it a couple times, it'll stay razor sharp. Hey, Thrifty, glad you could join us.
Oh, mate. He must have fell off the bed, woke himself up, our Thrifty.
See, Diamond C is telling you here that anything over S30V, you'll need that diamond spray.
Yeah,
I know how you're wanting to go up and see how far that 1,000 grit does you.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, but I have to say S30V and S35VN, I use the green compound in it. It's not that, I don't feel as if it needs anymore. It's not hard enough. Of course, depending on the Rockwell, but they never Rockwell them above 60. Most knives are in S30V and S30 are not above 60 Rockwell. So the green compound still does me for them.
My S35VN, I just wanted to see how long it will go. And this is not hard use. It's everyday carry. But I went 3 weeks. That thing was still cutting paper at 3 weeks. And that's when I called it quits. And now I'll go a week without sharpening, like my Benchmade S30 or the S35BN. And at the end of the week, I just sharpen them up with a ceramic rod and strop, and they're good. I've never come close to getting them dull.
What brand of stone have you been using? It's a Shapton ceramic, not to be confused with the Shapton glass, which is the very expensive stones and very good stones, I may add. But the Shapton ceramic is about £50 for an 8x3 stone. And it is, so far, I've only been using it on very light, no-name steels and carbon steels, low-end carbon steels. And it's just beautiful. But I want to take it up as far as I can get it up so that it's still effectively cutting the steel. Because of Outdoor 55, I don't know if you follow him, great channel, but he had used it on some of the powdered metal steels and it was still cutting away. So I just wanted to prove it to myself, to go through, and I thought it's a good way to go through most knife and their blade steels just to see how well this stone does it, because all stones are different. But
yeah,
Shapton tend to make they're consistent with their stones. You don't get one month and then another one the next month that's slightly different. They seem to have it down to a complete fine art. And that's why I'm using it as a stone, because 50 quid's not cheap for a stone. You don't need to spend that much. A simple corundum stone will sharpen most things that you're ever going to use.
We got Old Farts Knives came in, and Andrew Smith, Jason Glover came in, and Mikey said that he finds sharpening therapeutic.
Very much.
Me and you were talking about that the other day. It's relaxing.
Yeah,
I like stropping, but I also like sharpening my knives. You sit there and you're just stroking your knife, and it's relaxing.
I've the wee room here. I'm really lucky. I just come in here sometimes and I'll sit for a couple of hours and do touch-ups rather than, I never really have to do heavy sharpening, but just doing a few touch-ups on knives that I haven't maybe stropped as often because I haven't used them too much, just to give me something to do. I just enjoy the fact of doing it.
Yeah, I like to do it.
Well, folks, thank you. It's great to have been off work today and watch your live. And Andrew, it's really great to have you here. Thank you very much for joining in. You're more than welcome. Any week you can get in. It's lovely to have people live. And unfortunately, that's coming up to the hour now, folks. And
Yep.
if there's any last questions you want to ask Michael, especially, but either one of the two of us will try to answer any questions before we go. And again, Michael, just give us the dates again. It's the 23rd of January, isn't it?
Going to be 23rd, 4 p.m. Eastern time and 9 p.m. UK time. And that's a Tuesday.
So please come along. And if you don't subscribe to Michael, please get over to Rasputin's Castle. He has a great channel with a wide variety of things that he does in his hobby. Much like myself, it's not all stuck in one thing. I like modern knives. I like old traditional knives. I like antique knives. Do you know what I mean? So Michael's very much in that vein. And I will see you all next week with a wee fella. He must be down there somewhere. And we'll get back to things as normal. But Michael, thank you so much for coming and giving us your time tonight.
It was my pleasure. I love getting out there. I love seeing these guys' comments and watching them interface. And don't
forget, you lot in the talk box, hit that flipping like button on the way out. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't get any worse than this. It's not painful. And it's free. How many things can you get free? There we go. Michael, again, thank you very much indeed. For all those in the talk box, thank you very much for joining in, for talking amongst yourselves. It's just a friendly space to be, and I love it every Thursday. Just means so much to me and Judd. And I'll wish him all the very best. I hope he gets better soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much from me, and from Michael will have the last word. A word of wisdom, Michael.
Hey, God bless y'all. Just don't. It don't matter. Life matters. That's all that matters. Take it one day at a time and enjoy it.
Wise words indeed. And with that, we're gone. Thank you very much indeed, Michael. If you hang on, I'll close this down and then there we go. Take care, everybody.